But if you put the time into it, yes.
Okay. All right, Rushdown's asking. All right, Tom says in his character guides, after the patch, Sonya will still have her stance trap, but it just won't be so cheap. Can you expand on that a little bit? Are you going to get into that later?
But I mean, it won't be so cheap is meaning the opponent will have the option to poke out, and then the mix-up will be, are you going to go ahead and do a safe military stance move to punish them for trying to interrupt your possible stance cancel, or are you going to stance cancel, poke stance cancel, or throw, or whatever. And if I try to interrupt that, you have an uninterruptible attack, be it a launcher or throw, or whatever. But I'll elaborate on that some more. But that's what I meant by that. Right now, you used to have no option to get out. It was just a block lockdown.
Yeah.
So
infinite blocks then, right?
Yeah, not anymore though. We'll get into that, when I break the character down.
Okay. He says, "What's the deal with timing to combo from her dive kick? It definitely seems to require different timing from a normal jump in, when you can just dial in your combos as soon as you press 1 or 2. Half the time, my normal isn't coming out afterwards. Any tricks to consistently getting it?"
Yes, you have to do it immediately. Like you do dive kick and then do the combo immediately. Before you even see the dive kick hit, you got to be going into the combo. That's how fast you have to do it, like a set string.
So what's a dive kick? Down 4?
Down 4. Yeah, so you would do dive kick and then go into your string immediately.
So as soon as you hit the 4, start hitting your 1-2 or your 2-1 or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, 3-1, whatever you're gonna do.
All right. This question's by Rhea. It says, once Sonya gets fixed in the full patch, any tips on facing a heavy defensive Sub-Zero? I've been having the most trouble facing Sub-Zeros.
Sub-Zero's kind of a pain in the ass for Sonya. Maybe like arc kick to kind of get around the clone. That's really, really hard for Sonya. That is really hard. You're just going to have to try to be patient against Sub-Zero. The problem is Sub-Zero's offense is just so potent. I'd say move Sub-Zero backwards, but it's so hard because Sub-Zero moves her backwards. I guess try to move Sub-Zero backwards. Try to put him in a situation where he has to get out of the corner. But you got to be really careful because Sub-Zero is a devastating offensive character as well. So at any time you think, I got him going backwards, he can decide to go forwards and put pressure on you and, get a significant lead, and then you'll never see him again. So got to be very patient against Sub-Zero. It is a very, very hard match.
Okay, last question is by Necklord. He's saying, what's the safest way to get in with Sonya? I always do the jump-in punch and the dive kick, but I think it's not safe on block.
No, the dive kick is not safe on block. If someone blocks the dive kick, they can always dash combo you. It's not like Cyber Sub-Zero's where you can make it safe-ish. And her EX dive kick, I think her EX dive kick is equally unsafe, actually. Or it might just be fast special, but I know neither one is safe. But the regular dive kick, EX dive kick doesn't give a combo. So I think it's only fast special punished. A regular dive kick is punished by dash full combo. So no, neither one of them is safe.
Okay.
Safest way to approach with Sonya? Jabs, sweeps, overhead, forward and forward, that kind of stuff. It's not easy to approach with Sonya. It depends on the character also, so it's character dependent. But like I said, we're getting into a lot of stuff in the character breakdown.
Okay. Well, let's that's it for the question. So before we do her character breakdown, let's do a quick little commercial break. That way, I don't know if you gotta use the bathroom or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab a beer, my friend. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys.
All right. 1 second, guys. We're gonna do a commercial real quick. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You back, Tom? Not yet? Alright. Replays are indefinite. They last forever as long as I keep them up there. So any show that we do, I have to actually go in there and click to save it. So it's always in the archives, but I'll definitely save in all the shows that we do. So don't worry about it. But yeah, you have to wait for you have to wait for us to stop broadcasting before you can actually see the replays. And what they'll automatically do is they'll break it up into parts. Like right now we just went over 2 hours right now so far for the show, so it'll probably be like 2 or 3 parts already right now that they'll break up. So okay, Admiral, what's your name on there? Is it Admiral? Let's see, let me scroll down here. Oh, you're the last one. Okay, I got you. Wow, that's a lot of questions this time. If you guys want to copy and paste and put your questions in this thread, and we'll try to get to them before we end the show. Just put them at the bottom.
Hi, fellas. I'm back.
All right, welcome back. Chaos, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. I haven't tried to. I'm usually so busy in between shows that I don't really have time to do a lot of editing and all that stuff. So how it comes is how it is, you know. So I can change the title, you know, but that's about it.
Whiskey was yesterday, my friend. Whiskey was yesterday. And last weekend. Okay, so
all right, let me get this full screen up here. All right, what you got?
Okay. First, let's get into exactly what was the stand strap and how it was fixed. Put it on stand block, please, Silent. Put them on crouch block, actually. Crouch block. How you doing, Ace Wax? How you doing? Thanks for joining. What you would do is the old stand strap was either 112 or whichever one got blocked, either 112 or 21, back 21 or 44. And what happened is, if any of these pokes were initially blocked, she could go into her stance with quarter circle back 2, and then cancel that stance with forward. Don't worry about it. It takes some practice, so don't gotta try it. And then after that, then she could just do stance cancel by dashing forward 2-1, stance cancel 2-1, repeat. You couldn't get out of it. What they did was they temporarily changed some of the remove properties. So Silent, go ahead and do 2-1. And let them see 2-1. So right now, they kind of changed the properties on 2-1 and 4-4. 2-1, as you'll see as soon as it comes up, second hit goes over the head on crouch block. Do 4-4. And the second hit of 4-4 will also go over the head. So they changed the properties on 2-1 and a 4-4 to remove her block infinite. So that's going to change once they listen the block's done. So right now, here's how Sonya's pressure game works. Go ahead and stand him up, Silent. Stand block. Okay, once they stand up, I want to say, even though the second hit of 2-1 can be crouch blocked and 4-4 can be crouch blocked, the string jails. So if they're stand blocking and they block 2-1 or 4-4, they're stuck there. So after like a 2-1 or a 4-4, or even like off a 1-1-2 or a back 1-2, however you get in the block, even if they're cross blocking, you can kind of do back 1-2 because the second hit will, but we'll get into that in a second. However you do that, then you can go into her military stance. And then you will have the same block stun as the block infinite. Of course, they can then crouch block and avoid you from looping it. But the point is, after the 2-1 or 4-4 or back 2-1, whatever it is, you can go into your stance. At this point, since they blocked it, they can't interrupt, your military stance moves. And what it is, if they try to interrupt you, have a launcher, I believe, a military stance. Go into military stance, silent, quarter scroll back 2, and then do back 2. I believe that's a launcher. So she has her launcher from military stance. Yeah, okay. Now that's also safe on block, but it's high. But if you try to crouch it, she has an overhead, which is 1+3, which is a safe overhead from military stance. And it's a throw, so you can basically do anything that goes like 2-1 or back 2-1 or 4-4, anything like stand blocking, and go into a military stance. They try to duck the military stance launcher, you have 1+3, which is an overhead. Also, at the same time, if they're trying to guard against the stance cancel into the block trap again, stay crouch blocking, you can then go ahead and do, the overhead, which is 1+3. It's a combo throw with 1+2 afterwards, and it's a safe overhead. Or you can go ahead and cancel the stance and dash in and throw, dash in 2-1, etc. And that's something versus, like stand block or stuff like that. Now keep them in crouch block. Now you might say, well, Tom Brady, didn't you just tell me that 2-1 and 4-4 and all that stuff can be crouch blocked? That's true, I did say that, but notice I said you have to be crouch blocking by the first hit. You can't crouch block after you block the first hit, so you've got to commit to stand block. Silent, go ahead and do forward and 4, please. Just forward and 4. Just forward and 4. That is an overhead. Now, that overhead is safe on block and it's pretty fast. So if the opponent is trying to cross block to avoid Sonya from coming in and doing like the 2-1 and the 4-4 stuff to keep that advantage, they say, okay, she's going to come in and put the advantage on me. I'm going to go ahead and crouch block and get this to go over my head. The forward and 4 hit. Now the forward and 4 guarantees a safe jump. So then you get a free jump and punch. Off of the jump and punch, they are now jailed and they can't duck the 4-4 or the 2-1, so you get the block trap into the stance into the mix-up. At the same time, they're cross blocking. You can also do back 2-1. Now keep in mind they're ducking in an attempt to get. Also, keep in mind you can't do the stance trap off of 2-1 or 4-4 if they duck, because you can't link the stance if the second attack whiffs, which you will by cross blocking. But Silent, can you please do back 2-1, down back 2 to go in a stance? Show them that. Back 2-1, down back 2. Stream is just lagging. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so the thing about back 2-1 is, keep in mind I just said the opponent's going to be crouch blocking, but when the opponent's crouch blocking, remember I just said Silent, the second hit is the high one, correct? Remember?
Right.
But now, instead of doing the overhead, because they're blocking, you can do back 2-1, and the second hit of back 2-1 is mid. So they actually are at disadvantage now. So you can still do that instead of the overhead, and then go into the block trap right there. And then you have the same mix-up of they can't interrupt the next attack in stance. They can't interrupt. I like to use the launcher to check them. And if they try to duck the launcher, I'll go ahead with the overhead of 1+3. If they respect the stance attacks, then you can go ahead and cancel and dash forward and throw again, or overhead if they're staying blocking because they say, okay, I'm not going to stand up, because as soon as I stand up, this guy is just going to go ahead and go into the 2-1s or the 4-4, come standing up. So they're going to stay crouching, so you can go ahead and throw because you're crouch blocking, or overhead, with forward and 4, or back 1-2 because they're staying cross blocking. And if they can't even low poke you. Keep in mind, if they're trying to like down 1 you out of the block trap, then you can come in 2-1 because the 2 is still mid. So in other words, if you, for example, come in and do forward and 4 for an overhead because they're blocking the initial block trap, and then jump and punch 2-1, for the safe jump 2-1 stance cancel, and then go to do forward, and they're trying to low jab you, the 2-1 will still connect, and then you get to go into a combo or re-stance trap. And if they commit to cross block and just stay blocking, you can come in and do back 1-2 and then loop the stance trap until they try to avoid the first hit. And if they try to avoid the first hit, which is high, then you can come in and do 2-1, which starts mid. And you see what I'm saying, Silent? How you have like a mind game there with the trap or the 4-4. You can also go ahead and do the overhead if they stay cross blocking, don't forget, and go into safe jump. Or you can just throw. Right. So she has options. It's still a trap, and she still has the trapping options. It's just the opponent can guess out of it now, whereas before the opponent couldn't. Now they're going to change this in the final version. They're going to change it in the patch, I should say. They're going to change this so that those attacks are mid again, so that you can't just always crouch block them. But you're just going to take her guard stun away. So she's still going to have enough guard stun so that she can mix up her stance moves, but not enough guard stun so that you can't poke out if she cancels. But it's going to be a guess if she cancels. If you try to poke out and she doesn't cancel, you're going to get hit. So she still has a nice little mix-up game from that. But that right now is how you're going to work Sonya's game in close. That's how you would work Sonya's game. And also, off her throw, she does have advantage. So she can kind of like throw and then dash in and pressure, or dash in and jump over you to reverse your controls, so on and so forth. So she does have a lot of those options right there. Also, keep in mind, she does have armor on her EX cartwheel. Her cartwheel is safe. She does have armor on it. I don't recommend throwing that because there's only 1 hit of armor, so fast pokes can kind of, you can use her armor to get out of certain situations like, like single hit situations, an interrupt in the end of a string, or it's like Raiden does back 3-1-2 on the last hit, you would do like an armor cartwheel or something like that to beat it, something like that. Also, in this version, right now until the next patch, I should say, Sonya's X-ray is punished by a wake-up attack. So if you hit somebody with Sonya's X-ray, at least for the next 2 weeks, they'll be able to get a guaranteed wake-up attack on you. So try to avoid using the X-ray unless it'll kill them. Let me just go ahead and touch on some combos very quickly because they're very, very easy to do. The combos that you do off her military stance back 2 are the same combos that she can do. Well, actually, you can basically go ahead and you can check out my combos on my Sonya guide right now. That's on testyourmight.com. Also, when the patch comes out, all my guides will also be at MortalKombatUnited.com. Because I'm going to when the patch comes out, I'm going to basically go ahead and give my guides to Mace, and Mace will be able to change the icons to 1, 2, 3, 4 from whatever they are now, so I don't have to redo all the button icons. And I'm just waiting because I don't want to have to do multiple updates to each guide. But right now you can check it out on Test Your Might for the combos. The strategy section is a little inaccurate right now because you can get out of the block trap now. But you can watch this video and see the block trapping, and then you can check out my guides there. And of course, in 2 weeks when the game has its patch, a full patch, you can check out my updated guides on both MortalKombatUnited.com, and you can also check them out on testyourmight.com as well. So, okay, let's go on to the next character then. But right now the combos are up on that guide, so be sure to check the combos out.
Awesome. All right, the long-awaited Kano is now here. So.
Kano.
Okay, first question, Vulcan Hades. What are Kano's best frame traps and mix-ups?
What are his what?
best frame traps and mix-ups.
Mix-ups. Well, you can fuzzy guard again Kano, but like with a jump and punch, he has a mix-up between his forward and 4, back 2 launcher, or his back 2-4 overhead, which is safe. Another good mix-up with Kano. So basically that's one mix-up. Traps would be 2-1-2 launcher or back 1-1-2. I like back 1-1-2 because it goes to a more damaging combo and starts mid. When either 2-1-2 is blocked or back 1-1-2 is blocked, Kano can go ahead and do his up Kano ball, and it cannot be interrupted at all. So what I could do then is when people start respecting the option of the now new and improved, safer Kano up ball, I like to go ahead and do back 1-1-2, jump over punch, back 1-1-2, or mix up or throw. Use it to keep poking and build some meter or so on and so forth. Those are some pretty good setups of Kano. Another good setup I like to do with Kano, which we're going to go over more in detail in the breakdown, is I like to do a max range Kano up ball. And a max range Kano up ball, a lot of times it takes longer because it's done from range for the throw attempt to reach Kano, as well as for like the down poke to reach Kano, because the down poke is no longer guaranteed, the down one. And then I will X-ray and absorb the hit. So a nice little X-ray setup is max range Kano up ball, X-ray. And when they try to throw attempt or respond right away, since you have some distance between you and you recover a little faster, you'll X-ray through their attack. So those are some setups I like to use with Kano.
Okay. He also says, is it better to end combos with choke, air throw, or knife if I want to keep pressure on my opponent or set up a safe jump trap? Or trap?
You want to use Kano ball. Kano ball. Best option. Kano ball gives you the option to go into zoning immediately and build more meter. Or you can just come in and Kano ball them again when they get up. It gives you space to avoid the wake-up attack, as well as the option to zone or come in and meet them halfway, whichever one you want to do.
Okay. What are the tough matchups for Kano I need to look out for in practice? What's his worst matchups?
Worst matchup is Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero and maybe Noob. But definitely, I'd say probably right now his only bad match is probably Sub-Zero.
Okay, so Mace wants to know, can you talk about the patch and how Kano has been buffed? Also, can you speak a bit on his best opportunities for connecting X-Ray and the better uses for his enhanced attacks? I'm only seeing good use for down forward 2 block, or down forward, the enhanced down forward 2, and the others don't seem to be worth the meter usage.
Okay, enhanced attacks. Well, first of all, it's in the past, they basically changed 2 things. They made the Kano ball safer. Right now, the Kano ball can be punished by a 10-frame special or faster. So, well, actually, even a Nightwolf shoulder. I'm not sure how many frames that is, though, exactly. But if you're a Jedi, I stress Jedi, you can do a Cage Shadow Kick, a Nightwolf EX shoulder. Less Jedi would be Raiden's Superman. Even less easier punish, real easy punishes like Kung Lao Spin and Reptile's Dash. Besides those particular another Kano up ball, Kano ball versus Kano ball. Besides that, basically every other character in the game would. I believe you can also fast uppercut, like Nightwolf can fast uppercut, and Jax, so on and so forth. But besides that, you would have to, you get a guaranteed down jab or a guaranteed throw attempt. But like I said, getting to the X-ray setup, if Kano does a max range Kano ball, he's a little safer. So if you're a character that's going in for that low jab or that throw attempt, and also keep in mind, a lot of times Kano can do Kano ball, and if you do double Kano ball, if they're trying to forward throw you, since you're doing it with 2, you'll automatically break the forward throw. And if they're doing something like a slower mid or something, they want to come in and mix you up, you can Kano ball them again, which kind of reduces them to faster mid, down poke, or throw attempt. Well, or back throw attempt, which is then, of course, you can Kano ball and break the back throw. In any event, though, of course, if you're trying to do a double Kano ball and they do like a faster mid, you're going to get hit. But this all comes into play to that X-ray setup, where you go ahead and you do a max range Kano ball, and if they're trying to hit you with a max range Kano ball, then you can go ahead and absorb the hit and do an X-ray. Another good setup would be off his down forward 1. You can do like any poke to down forward 1, or just throw a random down forward 1 out, and then follow with a Kano block, because down forward 1, after it's blocked, cannot be interrupted by a Kano block is uninterruptible. I should say Kano up ball, not Kano ball, is uninterruptible. So you can do any poke into like a down forward 1, like back 1, 3, and let's say they did not duck the 3, then you can go ahead and do down forward 1, and if they block that, then Kano ball, they have to block it, which then allows you to just, if they respect that, you can throw, cross up, go into more block string combos to build more meter. As far as EX moves go, Kano's EX moves aren't too good. You're just kind of like, I guess if you need the extra damage, go ahead and use extra damage. But I most of the time use his meter for X-ray or breaker.
Okay. All right. The Great 106 asks, with the new addition of did you talk about the buff? How he's been buffed?
Yeah, he's been buffed by his forward and 3 is now low, and his Kano up ball is now safer. It's punished by a special 10 frames or faster, which is very hard to do unless you're like Kung Lao, Raiden, or Reptile, or Kano himself. And it's only either punished by a fast uppercut, down jab, or free throw attempt. That's how it's been buffed.
Gotcha. Okay. With the new addition of the forward 3 being low for Kano, strategy-wise, so one look to be aggressive or zone when using Kano. Of course,
Kano can actually be. Go ahead now. One second.
Well, it says, of course, it depends on the opponent, but explain your opinion.
Kano actually cannot win just by zoning. In this game, you cannot win just by zoning. You get cornered, and the problem with Kano was Kano would zone, and he gets cornered, and he can't get out of the corner without putting his whole life bar on the line, and that was felt to be a little unfair. Like, well, why the hell does he have to put his freaking life bar on the line? Cage just had a flip kick is so freaking stupid. Why can't Kano have? So Kano can be more aggressive with the Kano ball traps because the risk is so much less. You don't have to worry about dying for it. I mean, even you can take a gamble and be wrong and lose some damage, but not a whole lot. So you can still use knife zoning for meter, but when you get when a situation where you want to pressure offense, you can use like the back 1-1-2 or the 2-1-2s and the Kano ball setups, or you can use the poke or his choke down forward 1 choke into a Kano up ball setup. So basically, because he has so many ways to set up the Kano up ball, or just the threat of coming in and doing naked Kano up ball, a lot of times you can come in and do naked Kano up ball, and if they respect that, come in and do a fast X-ray. So that's pretty good also. He just has more offensive options now because of his buff. I'd say Kano, he can zone. Kano, I'd say, is played 65 to 70%, footsies and like setups, or more toward the offensive, and 30 to 35% more defensive, zoning and defensive Kano up ball setups as well.
Okay. Pig of the Hut, our own Bam Bam in here. Tom discussed Kano is, in terms of him being considered S tier, A+ tier, all of a sudden with these new tweaks. Do you see him as a Guile, Super Street Fighter 4 type of character now?
No, he's much better than Guile. Kano is S tier. He can compete against the best of the best of the best of the best. Kano, his up ball being so fast, especially like Raiden matches. The match used to already be kind of so because Kano could knife, and if Raiden tried to Superman or even EX Superman on a reaction, Kano could block the Superman or the EX Superman. And if Raiden tried to teleport on reaction, Kano could actually up ball him. Even though he teleported a knife, Kano can do an up ball before Raiden does anything at all. But of course, if Kano were to up ball, back then Raiden gets a full combo. Or, Kano could throw, but Raiden could just always test the up ball, and the one time Kano was wrong and he blocks it, he's dead. Well, he can still do the same thing, only now, when Raiden blocks the up ball, all he gets is the 10-11% Superman, as opposed to... So now Kano is a much bigger threat for fighting a character like Raiden, with safety. At the same time, characters that put him in frame traps, like Johnny Cage, he can use the Kano up ball to get out of the frame trap without worrying about losing his whole life bar. In fact, trying to punish a Kano life ball with a shadow kick is very, 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 very risky. So Kano can get out of traps better and initiate traps better. which, that alone, and build meter more now, but because he can check you with a Kano up ball more safely, people are more likely to respect the option of the Kano up ball, I should say, which allows Kano to, press offense by looping multiple strength setups because you don't want to test the Kano ball at that particular time. It also gives him a safer wake-up option that he didn't have before, so now you have to respect the Kano ball even more on wake-up. At the same time, because you can use the Kano ball and don't have to spend meter to break now, because it's not punished really by a combo, except for maybe by like Kung Lao, that's really good. I mean, technically Johnny Cage can jab or forward and 3, but again, he has to be a Jedi. That's not going to happen. So right now, he really doesn't have to worry about using meter to break now after Kano up ball. So now he has even more meter for X-ray setups.
Okay. Pig's also asking, what should you end the combos with?
Kano up ball or standard Kano ball.
Okay. And does he have an option to cancel the ball?
I'm not sure. I heard that they were going to give him an option to cancel EX Kano up ball with an air throw, but I don't believe they did. So no, right now we cannot.
Okay. Arcade Fever has a couple questions. He says shout outs to the show, and then Drunk Brady's the best Brady. All right, currently the best combo I know for Kano is jumping punch, back 1-1-2, 4 forward, back 1. Or I'm sorry, 4 forward.
What is
2,
it?
1,
Say that again. Okay.
His best combo is jumping punch, and then back 1-1-2 dash 2-1-2 dash jump kick, and then the EX air ball for 38%, which he thinks is practical and easy to land. But he wants to hear your opinion on it.
I use that combo, or I use jumping punch, back 1-1-2 dash 2-1-2 dash 2-1-2 regular Kano ball. Either combo works. One does 33, one does 38. Whatever floats your boat, whatever is easier for you to get.
So those are good. That's his bread and butter, then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about Kano's matchups? Which are the good and the bad ones?
Also, I want to say you can do the same combo off as 2-1-2 instead of back 1-1-2, which is a little easier for people to get the combo after.
Yeah, it's hard to link that. It's hard to link after that back 1-1-2.
Okay.
Because it's like a short window to have the link there, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So what's the next question?
What's your opinions about Kano's matchups, the good and the bad ones?
Kano, all matchups are very good to him, except for one which is Sub-Zero, which can be kind of hard for Kano. Besides Sub-Zero, Raiden can be kind of tricky, but I think that's kind of a 5-5. And Shang Tsung can be kind of difficult for. I would say Shang Tsung, Sub-Zero, Nightwolf, Noob Saibot are his hardest matches.
Okay. He also said, I found that it's impossible to do a jump punch forward 1-1-2 or forward 1-2 for some reason. The combo reads the first forward 1, but all the other inputs are read as if you're performing the back 1 combo strings, which is completely
yes, we know. It's a bug. It's actually another move in the game that was disabled that comes out of a jump punch. Here's a simple solution to that. If you land a jump and punch, and you already know you have 2-1-2 guaranteed, and you already know you have back 1-1-2 guaranteed, and you even if the jump punch is blocked, you know you can still do 2-1-2 or back 1-1-2 and get the Kano up pull set up. What the fuck are you doing something else for? Off the jump and punch, back 1-1-2 or 2-1-2 into Kano ball setup, or get the combo, or do mix up between a 50-50 between his back 3 forward and 2, or his back 1-3, and then end with a link in a special, or use the advantage from the jump and punch and get the guaranteed throw attempt. That is all you should ever do with Kano.
Okay. Is NetherRealm fixing the winning pose bug with Kano's alternate costume?
Kano's alternate costume? Yes, Yes, they are.
Okay, all right. Psych Out asks, what are the best ways to land Kano's X-Ray? Are there any guaranteed setups?
For a guaranteed X-Ray? No. There used to be a guaranteed setup off his back 1-2 or his forward 1-2. I forget. They used to not be able to escape the guard stun. Not the guard stun, the stun animation of the hit, but that was removed. That was because of yours truly in betas. Kano used to be able to get that. Used to get a free X-ray off his forward 1-2 stun on hit. Jax used to get off his 2-2. He used to get a guaranteed ground pound into a combo or a guaranteed dash X-ray, which was removed from the game after the beta.
Okay. Let's see. He also asks, how should Kano be played? Defensively, using knives to zone and ball up to air, or offensively, using safe block strings and high-low throw mix-ups? A mix of both, depending on the match.
That's already answered.
Yeah, we've answered that like 5 times already tonight. Okay, do you have a estimated time on when Kano Guide will be completed?
Yes, after the final updates. I mean, after the final... I keep saying final. After the next patch, a lot of the characters will be basically complete and minor changes in the future. So I'll be able to go ahead and do a full Kano guide. I plan on starting doing the guides again after the next patch in about 2 weeks.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Samsung Crunchy asks, I noticed in the upcoming patch, Kano was one of the only characters that was specifically buffed. Was Kano really at such a disadvantage when compared to the other decent characters?
No, but we know NetherRealm, I guess, doesn't want every character in the game to be played by running away zone. And like I said, Kano's problem was he zones. His up close game was okay, but he always had to put his life bar on the line. So because his safer option was to zone, that's what he did. But then eventually Kano gets backed up, and then he can't get himself out of that backed up position without putting his life bar on the line. So they buffed him up. The low doesn't really buff him too much because that's kind of easy to avoid. But the Kano ball is the real buff, which allows him to kind of get out of stuff without putting his bar on the line.
Okay. It's the last one. Oh, Admiral said we can go ahead and skip it because he already figured it out. So that's the last of the questions for Kano.
Okay, well, I basically answered all the tactics to these questions, but let's go ahead and show a couple of things that we talked about. Let's go ahead and we'll go over a couple of the scenarios here. Basically, after his... Put him on stand block. This is all stand block stuff right here. Put him on stand block, and you're basically going to go ahead and do back 1-1-2, and then do a Kano ball, and then you're also going to do 2-1-2, and then do a Kano ball. And these are Kano ball setups.
I can do the up ball, right?
Yeah, just the up ball. Just the up ball.
Okay.
And then Kano up ball right away.
Oh, am I able to cancel out of that last 2 into it, or I have to wait?
No, you gotta wait. You got just do it and then do it. Yeah.
All right, got you. Okay.
Yeah. See, if you do that and then do a Kano ball right away, like he just did right there, you can't interrupt it. Same thing off 2-1-2. Do 2-1-2 silent and then do Kano ball. It just blocked. Yeah, 2-1-2.
Okay.
2-1-2. You doing back 1-1-2. 2-1-2.
Yeah, you're delayed. I did it like 3 times.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure I am. Here we go. 2-1-2. Kano ball. Okay, so... And then also let's look at his back 1-2. I mean, back 2-3, I should say. Back 2-3 is a safe overhead attack. And you can combo that into his...
Oh, you can cancel that one.
You can cancel that into like a overhead. I mean, into his down forward 1 choke. Of course, they can duck the down forward 1 overhead choke. They can crouch block it after that string. Well, here's the thing. So I do back 1-3 into his choke, which is down forward 1. So back 1-3 choke. Back 1-3 down forward 1.
Back 1-3.
Down forward 1.
You mean back 2-3?
Yeah, back 2-3 choke. Yeah, my fault. Back 2-3 choke, and then do Kano ball after the choke.
Okay. Got it.
and then you do the up ball. Exactly. They can't interrupt the up ball there either. So, and at the same time, when you do back 1-3 choke, if they start crouching, if they're back two, I should say, if they're back two, they have to crouch block the 3 and remain crouch blocking for the choke to go over their head. But you can do back 2-3 when they respect the crouch block, crossover jump punch, 2-1-2, or back 1-1-2, and then go back into the same Kano ball setup. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
So, at the same time, off a jump and punch, you can mix them up between back 2-3 or the forward 3 back 2 string. You can do either of those 2 strings and mix them up between a 50-50, when both strings, of course, are safe. Or you can take your guaranteed throw attempt. Also, Silent, what I want you to go ahead and do is try to do a max range Kano ball and then X-ray. Just try to Kano up ball. Try to take a step forward. Yeah, like a little step. Go to the reset position and do a Kano ball. Let's see. I forget the exact range. Go to the reset position.
The air ball or the regular ball?
Kano up ball. Go to the reset position. You reset the spacing and do a Kano up ball. I don't think it'll reach.
It'll go behind him.
If he from
reset range, it'll end up behind him.
Kano up ball, down forward 2? Goes behind him?
Well, now it's not doing it. It just was.
Okay. Take a short step forward and do the Kano up ball from reset position. And I mean a short step. Not even a real step, like a stutter step forward, like a tap. And do a Kano up ball.
There we go.
Well, you wanted to make contact, but barely make contact.
Oh, okay.
Okay, see right there? You do that, then mash out X-ray. Make sure it barely makes contact, then mash out an X-ray. Okay, see, right? That's a situation. Yeah, that's a situation right there when a max range Kano ball is blocked. If they try to down jab you, initiate their offense, anything like that, anything but, or even a throw attempt sometimes, if they're a little off on it, anything at all in that particular time, besides maybe a throw attempt, and that's kind of sketchy at that range, will lose to a X-ray because the first hit of armor will absorb the attack. So that's a Kano ball setup. That's an X-ray setup off the max range Kano up ball. Besides that, and a lot of the questions we answered here, that's basically Kano in a nutshell. We basically explained the entire character. So basically, let's go ahead and take some questions from the chat now. So if anybody there has any questions, go ahead and I will do my best to answer them.
Well, there's actually a lot of more questions in that thread, like even more than what we've already gone over. But what we'll do, because Vulcan Hayes did a real good job. He separated it into those 4 characters. He separated it into other character questions, which we're not going to do this week. There's a section that says general questions, so we might do those. It's not actually, there's a lot in there too.
What are the general questions?
All right. Chun-Li, in training mode, I noticed the following: when you empty jump over a dummy, and then immediately upon landing the other side to do a
They don't turn around. It's training mode. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
They don't turn. Is that what he's saying? They don't turn around?
It's basically saying it doesn't chain.
What doesn't chain?
Upon immediately landing the other side, I do a chain that starts with a direction. Example, forward 2-1. Only the first move comes out, and the rest of the chain gets left out, no matter how fast I input the chain.
It depends on the character. Some characters you can't do this with. Some characters you get back turn moves, which came out in which were in MKDC. Anyone familiar with MKDC will understand that.
Okay. Takes about a second after landing to do the normal again. The chain that starts without direction input works just fine. Is this a bug? Is this a training mode thing?
Training mode. Okay. I believe it's training mode. I mean, it could not be. I don't ever have a problem landing over somebody and doing that. Why would you empty? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Ezel 70x7. Right now I'm using about 10 characters, but I want to get better at this game. Would you recommend that I keep using them all, trying to get better, or should I start using less characters?
Say it again?
He's using about 10 characters now. Do you recommend that he stops using so many?
Absolutely not. Check one. Absolutely not. The game is too young to play 10 characters. It's not your simple, the previous MK games where they're simple. You've got to be able to focus on one character first.
One character for, he's saying 3 or 4. So 3 or 4 is still too much?
3 or 4. Depends. If you're just playing casually, yes. If you actually want to be a tournament player, just start with 1.
Okay. Let's see. How do you get better at breaking grabs? They seem to come so quick and I react late.
Well, you just have to it's a strike throw mix-up. You have to recognize that you're in a strike throw mix-up and make a guess between the throw, and you want to guess which throw. So it depends on where you are. If your opponent has jumped over you and you block a jump and punch, and you think a grab is coming, most of the time it's going to be the neutral grab, so they can throw you into the corner again. You'd break with 1. If your opponent's if you're like an Ermac kind of character and you're kind of like at 3-4 screen distance, the character is obviously going to throw you forward to get more space. So at that point, you would break with 2. So it's just a guess. But you've got to be able to recognize you're even in the throw setup to even try to break the grab.
Right. Okay. Megamonk says, I know that eventually there will be some changes to training mode, but I would like to know is if they'll add an option to allow the computer to randomly block like other fighting games. We've had this question last week.
Yeah, I believe they will. I don't know if they're going to do it in this patch coming up because right now they're just focused on fixing, making the game work right, no block infinites, that kind of stuff. But at some point, I believe it is coming.
Okay. How can we tell we've been put into a techable or a non-techable knockdown? Which moves cause this, and what are our options when we are put in either knockdown?
Say that again? I didn't.
He wants to know how he can tell. Is there a way to tell that you've been put into either a techable or a non-techable situation when you've been knocked down? There's no way to tell?
No.
Okay.
No.
And which moves cause this? That's going to take all night.
A lot of moves. Sub-Zero slot. Yeah. I mean, a lot of moves. Too many moves, yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll start adding that to each character specific, what their knockdowns are.
But I normally do that. When I go over, like I mentioned Sub-Zero today, you can't take off his slide.
Right. Okay, good. So what's the options when you put in either knockdown? So if it's a non-techable, then can you do a wake-up move, or that's what he's asking?
You can always do a wake-up attack at any knockdown. Here's how it works. Wake-up system 101. Okay. If you are knocked down, to do an invincible attack, each character has at least one wake-up attack that has invincible frames on wake-up. 6 to 8 frames of invincibility depending on the attack. Basically, if you get knocked down with a knockdown that you can tech roll, to do the wake-up attack, you can either tech roll by tapping any direction or buttons in direction, and then as you begin to roll, immediately input the command of the attack special you want to do, and it'll come out as recovery roll plus wake-up attack. Or you can let the game tech you up normally, and as you are beginning to be teched up, input the command of your special, and the wake-up attack will come out. If you get hit by a non-techable knockdown, the only way you can do a move as a wake-up attack for its invincibility frames is have the game tech you up naturally and input the command as you're being teched up for a wake-up attack. Now, when you get knocked down, of course, you can lay on the ground. You can lay on the ground whether a knockdown is techable or untechable. If you decide to lay on the ground and then roll back and do an attack, it will not say wake-up attack because it's not a wake-up attack anymore. It won't even say recovery roll. So say you get knocked down, be it a techable or untechable knockdown, and you decide to hold down to lay on the ground for a few frames and then roll backwards, which you can do. If you do that, like lay down for a couple of frames and tap back, and then do a special attack, it'll still come out, but it will not be invincible and will get beat by the normals that your opponent is doing, despite the fact that you did a special while getting off the ground. Also, if you lay on the ground and while laying on the ground decide to release down to begin to be teched up and then do an attack, it also will not be considered a wake-up attack. To do a wake-up attack, you must either, you must commit to the wake-up attack fairly quickly. If you decide to lay on the ground and your opponent has seen that you did not, of techable knockdowns, tech back or get up with a wake-up attack immediately, or of untechable knockdowns, stay on the ground for an extended period of time, they can come in and press their offense and not have to worry about you getting up with an unbeatable attack because you no longer have that option. And that's basically how the wake-up system goes.
Okay. All right. Great 106 asks, I've heard the phrase fuzzy guard thrown out a lot for guarding against 50-50s. I think that one was already answered, right?
Yes. Fuzzy guard, you basically, depends on the timing, but a good example of this would be Cyber Sub-Zero. Cyber Sub-Zero jumps in punch. He can do 3-3-2 for a mid-low or 3-4 for a mid-overhead. Let's say you block a jump and punch and now you're at a 50-50. Well, from holding block, you would continue to hold block and quickly tap down, then go to neutral block. Just release down. And you'll be able to guard both options simultaneously. At the same time, someone like Scorpion does, you'll have to delay it because of the speed of the low and the mid. So the timing on fuzzy guarding is character specific based on their options, but the theory is the same. You would just have to hold down for a longer period of time and then go back to neutral as opposed to just tapping down, depending on the speed of the character's mix-ups. So, but that is the theory of fuzzy guarding.
Okay. All right. Admiral Augustus asks, is there any way to avoid the ice clone glitch when you wake up, ice clone close to the opponent and it doesn't make one?
It's not an ice clone glitch. It's the ice clone's proximity. There's just sometimes if they're that close, you have to use the slide. You can't use the ice clone.
All right. Smashing Me says, are they removing the length of negative edge? You've answered that before.
Yes, I have.
Pariah, what characters would you label as a thinking man's character? I've been looking for some characters that really require a lot of thought before things like execution and combos.
Sub-Zero and Shang Tsung are the two biggest ones that come into mind.
Okay.
Especially Shang Tsung.
Oh, Tim asked, do I pronounce my name Silent One or Slint? Are the ones silent? I answered that in the thread, though. Hates, can we get a definite answer on whether or not it's possible to break a throw while holding a block button?
Yes, Hates, a good friend of mine, actually. Yes, you can get a definite answer. No, you cannot break a throw while holding a block button. Wow. This is something you see Caliber, where you can hold guard and tap A or B. In this game, you actually have to release block to tap the button, so it's a strike throw mix-up. Again, NetherRealm is monitoring the throws with the 2 throw breaks right now, and if it becomes a problem, so the throw mix-up is just too much, then they're prepared to make it 1 throw break, so they are monitoring it. But you do have to release block and open yourself up to the combo.
Okay. Let's see. There are a number of moves in the game that seem almost useless for realistic play, or that have been patched and will become so. Wondering what is the rationale behind creating moves like this, and if any of the moves, obviously ones, are specifically in the process of being adjusted. Examples I think would include Noob's Black Hole, Quan Chi's Skeletal Boost, and his runes once they're patched, Reptile and Smoke's Invisibility, just to name a few.
Well, some people, I guess, like a game full of broken, fucked up shit. You see, that's fucking retarded. Invisibility is fucking retarded. EX invisibility already. If invisibility turns you invisible, what's the point of the EX invisibility? The invisibility can be used, but because it comes back, the problem is meter is so important in this game. Wasting it on something as big as a gimmick in this game, which is invisibility, is kind of worthless. So that's why, and that's the way it is. Quan Chi Skeletal, off a knockdown, you can call his skeletal stuff. You keep in mind how devastating Quan Chi would be if you can call that stuff. If you buff that, how devastating he would be. He'll let him call it during a combo, or let him. You'd be screaming to take it away. What you have to understand is, in fighting games, all of them, there's not one fighting game where every move for every character is useful. Some moves are worthless, and that's just life. That's just how it is. No such thing as a fighting game where every move is useful. And sometimes these are because the move would end up being too good, or it's just one of those things where the character already has enough good moves as it is. Noob, you want to give him the fucking black hole to be whatever, then the character would be absolutely broken. So, no, those moves are not going to be toned up.
Okay. Let's see. You had mentioned before that some moves were disabled for characters before the game was finished, like that kick move you were talking about last week's show from Deadly Alliance for Kung Lao. Do you think they will ever re-implement them?
No.
Rayman asked. Oh, wait, that last question was by Zebster. So Rayman asked, do you have any idea if NetherRealm is gonna add a chapter select, so you can go back and play certain parts of the story mode again?
If they do, it won't be for quite some time. I don't even think that's being discussed right now.
Yeah, a lot more important things to do than that, right?
Yeah, I can't answer that accurately. Maybe it's a good idea though.
Yeah. Zepster's asking again. So, what are the best and worst matchups for the 4 characters focused on the show? We already went over that. Bad B says, does a computer cheat frame advantage? I've been using the training AI, which does the move and then blocks comparing it to the move startup data from the attempted punish to figure out safe and unsafe moves. Too bad they won't post it on obscure websites in Japanese. So basically, when you do the AI on on expert level, are they like cheating the frame data and recovering faster than what they're supposed to be and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. Detective E versus computer mode is needed. I don't want to just play the tower. Where NRS add this?
No. Versus computer mode, no.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a versus computer mode in training.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Posted by Ermax the shit. Do you know if NetherRealm is planning on adding? Oh, same question. ESC1. And my question for Tom: will you grow your hair out like the real Tom Brady, thus ensuring further soap opera-like drama?
Maybe.
All right. Last question. Pooh Jack R. I'm relatively new to the MK scene. I've been getting blown up by people doing a string, then doing a cross-up punch, rinse and repeat. Also, when I try and do a wake-up attack, half the time it doesn't come out. What is the specific timing for that?
It depends on the knockdown. Most of the time, the people are having problems doing wake-up attacks off untechable knockdowns. Mm-hmm. Most techable knockdowns, they'll just do the tech and then off the tech to the wake-up attack, so that's pretty simple. Off untechable knockdowns, you must actually hesitate and wait until your opponent begins to be teched up naturally by the computer, and then input the wake-up attack. It does take timing, and it actually does take practice to make sure it says wake-up attack under your, I should say above your super bar. If you're trying this online, good fucking luck. Because the timing is very different. You just have to kind of mash it out online.
All right. And for as far as people jumping over and doing strings, rinse and repeat, I would say jump out yourself after the string.
There are answers for that. I mean, he's saying people are complaining about that?
No, he's saying he's new and he's getting blown up by that. He doesn't have a way out.
You got to learn how to. It comes with experience. You got to learn your spacing game. I could tell you how to space, which I did cover the footsie. The footsie spacing in this edition already, and you can go ahead and do that. But because you're so new and so inexperienced, it won't matter. They'll still just break your spacing down. That comes from learning the footsie distance, practicing it, and getting a more refined gameplay. Game plan, I should say. And that comes with experience.
Okay. Actually, there's a couple more questions, but I told people to hurry up and put their questions into the thread before we got done.
Okay.
Urbac 92 wants to know, what do you think about the up and coming John B24?
The what?
John B24. I guess he's a player. He's a Johnny Cage player, I think. Is that right, guys?
John B24. I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, I think I saw someone talk about him earlier.
Is he an online player?
I don't know.
I mean, I've never seen him at tournaments.
Yeah, come
Does
on,
anybody
Stream Monsters. You guys know? John
anyone
B.
know? John B24. Does anyone know who this guy is?
All right,
Just,
we'll come back to it. Okay. Yeah, once again, shout outs to Vulcan for making the thread. It's awesome. Let's see. Cool Boy Corp is asking. Okay. Oh, that's a Scorpion question. We'll skip it. Quan Chi question. We'll skip it. Is there a key move to Sonya that you must know, like with Kitana's instant air fence?
No. Just stance cancel stuff. Which does take practice to do it perfectly.
Okay. What would you say is the best strategy to use against an extremely aggressive rushdown character from, say, Johnny Cage or Kung Lao when I'm using Sub-Zero or Ermac?
A good tech to use against rushdown characters like Johnny Cage when you're using Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Ice Clone. Ermac? You're not defensive against Ermac. You rush Ermac down. He doesn't rush you down.
Okay. Let's see. Quanchi. As Kano, this is by Zatochi. As Kano, what are the best options to do against Sub-Zero and Noob? We already did that. Alright, that's it. So there's a lot of questions here that we didn't answer because they're character specific on characters we already done or haven't got to yet. So if you guys didn't get your question answered, make sure you copy and paste it and save it or put it somewhere else, and we'll get to it eventually at some point. But we've already been going for 3 hours now, so we're going to do 10 minutes of question and answers from you guys in the stream chat, and then we're going to close shop. So
okay, let's get it done.
It's been a long show, so you guys are up now. Actually, wait. Before we do that, we're definitely going to do Baraka this week, because I want to do Baraka, but we need 3 other characters, so you guys in the stream chat pick, starting now. Go ahead. First 3, we'll get done. Go.
It's late, so.
Yeah, I know. They come in like, we already did Raiden, Sector.
Cabal Sector,
Cabal
Jade.
Sector. Alright, good. Alright, so, Baraka. Okay, you guys can go ahead with your questions now. Cabal.
Okay, guys, go ahead with the questions.
What was it? Cabal? Oh, Sector and Jade. Alright, that'd be a good show.
Okay, 2-2. Sub-Zero's 2-2 is good. Hitbox. Hitbox is good. You also have the option to hit. You can hit confirm into a freeze if it hits. Mainly it's the hitbox. The hitbox on 2, the first 2 has got a big hitbox. Second 2 has an even bigger hitbox, and the second 2 covers good rage in front and even to Sub-Zero's back. You also have the option to hit confirm, and if it hits, you go into a freeze. If it doesn't hit, you can finish the string with 4, or you can even end the string with 2-2-4 and then Ice Clone. So you have hitbox, hit confirm ability, and options after it. Why does Cabal such bad damage? Scaling after 4 hits and Nomad Dash is hard work. I don't know. I don't know how to make the game. Brock is down for it too. Safe on block, no punished by full combo actually. So block high low. It's a mid, but it's not an overhead, so you can block it high. Added at some point the record feature, not yet. Why is crouch block bad? Because it takes you additional frames to come out of crouch block to go into regular. It's not the same as normal block. It takes you more frames to recover. Beshies for Sub-Zero's charge back 2. Use it in combos as a reset. You can have them frozen and do full charge back 2 and time it through just as they recover from their freeze. It's unblockable. And of course, if they try to hit you or block, it'll freeze them and you get a combo. And of course, if they try to not block and take the hit, you can cancel it with forward and then 2-2 freeze again. But what I mainly use it for is unbreakable damage. After like a freeze, if you come in and time it properly and they're trying to break her, If you time it just as they recover from the freeze, it's not going to give them a break because it's blocking and you can't break on block. So it's going to refreeze them. And if they take the hit, obviously they're not breaking, right? Because they're taking the hit. So it's a good way when they have like their last 10, 11% and they're frozen to do an unbreakable finish. Okay. Sheer Invincible Wake Up Attack. It's her down back 3. Complain about smoke placement, teleport, and smoke bomb. These moves are fast and annoying. Can you get some advanced offensive strategies more effective than spam? Jump. I mean, jump. Dash and jump. I mean, basically against smoke. Smoke's kind of a pain in the ass. And it's once they remove his smoke, his OTG, where he's like air throwing you out of the air and getting big damage, he'll be easier to deal with. The new Baraka is viable or not? Yes, very viable. Smug. Tom, is online ever fixed? Will you play it? No, I will never play online. And I'm going to answer this in kind of detail right now. I'm never going to play online. I hate to say this, mainly because a lot of members on Mortal Kombat United. Mortal Kombat United has a lot of good people. Pig, Silent goes there. Mace, Chap is cool. It's got a lot of good players that I like there. But it also has some bad seeds. Sujinky Dink asked me not to mention his name, but I'm going to mention your name anyway. Simply because people like him are a reason why I can't ever play online. It's because you got a guy like Michelangelo who, he's on TYM. I think he's on MKU also. But you can play him, and even if he were to beat you online, he's going to be at every major tournament. He doesn't think anything of it. In MKDC, a guy like Shujinky Dink, one time I played him when I was retired. I came out of retirement for one day. I hadn't played in like 6-8 months. And we were going back and forth for a little bit, and I think his Kano took more games than me. I hadn't played in so long. But even when I began to travel to tournaments, offline, even though they were small, this guy's whole rationale was, well, I've already beaten Tom Brady online, so I don't have to play anymore. And I was like, well, he's East-West Coast. You couldn't get a good connection. I was East Coast at the time. And he's like, well, you're more than welcome to play me online every time. Of course, I can't even use the 360 pad anyway, which is what I played him on. And he kept saying, you're more than welcome to play him online. Well, guys like him, even in MK9, if you play him online and his fucking shit god-awful connection, especially the way the online is now, and he beats you, he won't ever say the online is bad. He'll just say, I beat you because I'm whatever. And if you go to an offline tournament, he'll never be there. And he'll forever use that as justification. Well, I played you online and I won. You say online is different than offline. Well, I don't take it that serious. So if you're in my town, maybe I'll be able to play you. But if not, we'll never know who would win. And every time you go to a tournament and win or do something, his dumb ass will always be in that fucking thread, saying something stupid like, oh, we went back and forth, or I beat him, or who knows what would have happened if I showed up. And I don't mean to call you out by name, Shujinky Dink, but you and people like you're a great example of it, are the reason why I can't play online. And it's something that, MKU is definitely working past. It's drastically improved. And I'm pretty sure at some point it's going to be over this, and this won't even be an issue anymore. But I just don't see that happening in MK9. But we work past it, so MK9, everything is moving a lot better now, and the future of MK is only going to get bigger and better in each MK community. So, what's forward 4 with Kano? I said forward 3, not forward 4. Forward 3 is the low. Offline, sometimes lag makes me. Fuck Vanessa Ortega. That's funny. What do you do when you catch them with an air freeze? An air freeze depends. If I'm close, I'll do a neutral jump 2, dash back 1-2, 2-1-4 slide. If I'm not close enough, then I'll just do dash forward, back 1-2, 2-1-2 slide. Kano's forward, down forward 2 is punishable at all? Yes, his Kano up ball is slightly punishable. I mean, you can go back to that section and read. Reptile and Smoke versus Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero wins. Those are very close. Those are like 6-4 matches. Very close matches, though. Will Scarlet be tournament viable? Yes, she will. She'll be very good. A+ tier. What is this about the Vicinity Blast? Question went way too fast. No, Range's EX Shocker, I use it as an armor attack to absorb a hit to get out of certain situations. You can use that or EX Superman. They're both just as unsafe. Vicinity Blast is totally worthless outside of a combo. Yes, MK9 is by far the best MK in my opinion. Sub beats Kano because he can get around the knife spam with slides, and Ice Clone punishes an otherwise almost unpunishable Kano ball. Sub-Zero always seems to win. Is he the best? When does Sub-Zero always seem to win? I've seen no other Sub-Zeros win in tournaments. What tweaks are you going to make to the Sub-Zero guide? Depends on the next patch coming. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. Tom, do you think tiers are good for the game? Won't it hurt players who don't like the main characters? All the characters can win in this game. Sub-Zero is considered mid-tier by many people, even though I consider him in the S-tier, yet I still win with him. His Reptile's Elbow Dash slower recovery doesn't still combo into a slide. His EX Elbow Dash does combo into a slide. My next tournament is Ultimate Fighting Game Championships this weekend coming up.
All right, guys. Brady, that's been about 10 minutes, so whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Whenever you're done.
Yeah, I'm basically done, man. It's kind of late.
I can tell.
Exactly. You guys with more questions that didn't get answered that you guys want to, answer, make sure you go check out the threads on Mortal Kombat United or Test Your Might. Put your questions in. What you really want to do is try to keep the questions to the characters at hand or general gameplay questions. And this makes it a lot easier to get through the questions. So if you guys ever have any questions, or you guys can hit me up, on either site, with private messages. I'll do my best to answer the questions. Or you can check me out at Facebook at Thomas Brady or Twitter at MK_Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. All right. Once again, thanks, Tom. Held it down. Valuable stuff here. Hope everyone, appreciates the stuff that Tom's doing for us, because no one's ever done it before that I've known of. So this is like a first. So exclusive stuff here. So to the guys from SRK, the site's down, so we could not get to your questions. So I apologize, and I can only imagine how long the show would have been if we could. We're probably gonna have to end up going down to 3 characters a week, because it's gonna get, as more and more people post questions, the show's gonna get longer and longer. So we're going on 3 hours here. We're over 3 hours already. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Tom. If you have anything else to say, now's the time.
That's it. I do want to say one thing. I want to say happy birthday to one of my good friends, Shock. We've been through a lot together in the MK community, and I gotta say, if it wasn't for a lot of his efforts, I wouldn't even have the ability to put an effort forth now. So, I'm doing a lot of work now for the community, but it really pales in comparison to a lot of the work and effort that people before me put in. So I want to say happy birthday to Shock, and thanks a lot to those guys.
Yeah, Shock's a good guy. Happy birthday, Shock. Is it today or what? Is it?
It was, well, technically right now it's past, but it was yesterday, but the 30th. Okay. But
you're in Texas, right?
Yeah, so right now it's 12:15, so it was yesterday for me.
Okay, so it's still today. So happy birthday, Shock.
Happy birthday, Shock.
Again, thanks everyone. Tom, thanks again. I'm gonna roll one last commercial, then I'll do my outro, and we'll see you guys next week, unless we have another exclusive show during the week. So thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Yo, where's that Mortal Kombat 9 hype at? Mortal Kombat 9, son.
Outstanding.
Get hype. Crazy 88's in the building. Let's go. Mortal Kombat 9. Scorpion teleport, throwing spears on a line. That's the X-ray move, I see through to your spine. None of the sign, so I put it in the rhyme. MK9. Sub can ice clone quick, like stop it on a dime. And rated mature. mature, fight to the death this time. Warner Brothers sign, so I put it in the rhyme. Mic check, you hype yet? Graphics so fresh, tight net, you might get acid to the chest. Cause tremors when I slam my fist to the ground. Thunder is the sound, shocking how it goes down. As fast as the flash, but I'm packing hook swords. Heat-seeking missiles, don't forget to look for them. You're a fool, I slam you with the thought of the mind. Call them a clone, we'll smack you at the same time. Projectiles don't faze me when I glow green. I beam, uppercut, your C appeared on the screen. Was that a double side? Must have been enhanced. My Lena show your grill, then do a sexy dance. Two monks from Shaolin, the skills ain't lacking. Come, raise the sharp lid, Lou, run with the dragon. Something in the water got me thinking I'm a rapper. Nah, MK9 got that Johnny Cage swagger. Mortal Kombat 9, scorpion teleport, throwing spears on the line. That's an X-ray move, I see through to your spine. Warner Brothers sign, so I put it in the rhyme. MK9, sub can ice cold quick, like stopping on a dime. And rated mature, fight to the death this time. Warner Brothers sign, so I put it in the rhyme. Two-arm blades to make your blood leak. Princess of Adelia, I'll mention Quan Chi. If she grabs you with her legs, you beg for mercy. Join the Marines and roll with Sonya if you're worthy. Hard to catch breath, you choke on the smoke. You see her forearms, don't try to rope a dope. Don't forget he got the taser gun. Sounds from the lungs make you go slow. I'll make your soul glow. It's a full roster, plenty for tag teams. Hyped anticipation, waiting for DOCs. Freeze. Enter a new edition. Robos to zero, causing much rage quitting. Ed Boon, Warner Brothers, the MK team, guaranteed best fighter ever seen on screen. On April 19, where you gonna be? Up, HP, fatality. Mortal Kombat 9, scorpion teleport, throwing spears on the line. That's the X-ray move, I see through to your spine. Warner Brothers sign, so I put it in the rhyme. MK9, sub can ice clone quick, like stopping on a dime. And rated mature, fight to the death this time. Warner Brothers sign, so I put it in the rhyme.
Yo, they making songs about the days of the week. What comes after Thursday? Had to make a song about this game. Shout outs to DJ Motion, the Ripper, for the graphics and the beat. Shout outs to Black Lion, Kwam, and Ari, my punching bags. Yo, you can check us out at MortalKombatUnited.com or TestYourMic.com. Storm, Crazy 88s, Silent One.
Fatality.
Motion.